It actually took a person in a position that was rather ordinary and might even sound unimportant to help me realize that the amount of influence you and I can have, it really doesn't have to do anything with how important our title sounds. This person I met in Harborview Medical Center. It was day 4 after the injury that changed my life forever. And by this point, I had been poked and prodded, measured, examinated? Wow. Examined and operated on. I felt like a thing from the matter-of-fact language about my life to being talked about in the third person, like, hello, I'm still here. It was easy to see I was just patient number 8 of 20 that day. You know, every day the doctors would come in with their group of interns following like a flock of baby quail. Well, it was about 3:30 in the morning, and I opened my eyes to see a young man in blue scrubs staring down at me. He said, "Hey, Jake, my name is Jason. I'm your new night nurse." I said, "Hey, nice to meet you, man." He said, "I've been talking to your dad. Sounds like you're a sports guy. Would you like to turn on ESPN and see what's on the tube?" I said, "Well, sure. I'm not really going anywhere. Let's try it." I don't know when the last time you watched TV at 3:30 in the morning was, but there's some weird stuff. Who can raise their hand and guess what Jason and I found on ESPN at 3:30 in the morning? Louder. I heard curling. We did not find curling. That would have been fantastic. What else do you think we found? Poker. Would have been terrific. Nope. What else?
Mud wrestling.
Mud wrestling? You know we destroyed those tapes. Come on. No. At 3:30 in the morning, Jason and I, we found a bunch of yo-yos. We found the World Championships of yo-yo. I didn't even know there was such a thing. But we started doing what we're doing now. We started laughing and making fun of these people who were really into yo-yo. And it felt just like I was normal again. It felt like 4 days ago when I was sitting on the couch with my buddies laughing at the TV. Well, up until he asked me something, frankly, no one had asked since I was 4 years old. He wanted to wash my hair. Yeah, I didn't know. I had the same look. You want to wash what? Hey, just between you and me, it was awesome. And I say that because at that point, I felt just like a head floating on top of a body. I couldn't feel anything from here down. I was just a neck brace. So just that time, that touch, that attention, that sense of connection, it made me feel like I wasn't a patient, like I wasn't number 8. It made me feel like a person. Now, I'll admit, that was kind of a weird experience for me. I really hadn't had a guy wash my hair when I was 23 years old, many times. And I almost missed out on that experience that changed my life for the better because I was so worried about having a guy nurse. Throughout the rest of this meeting today, you might hear some ideas and perspectives that are new and different. And I challenge you not to shut those out. Because when you and I put up walls, I think we miss out on experiences that stretch us. I think we miss out on new ideas and new perspectives that can make you and I even better at doing our jobs. So back to that nurse Jason. That night at 3:30 in the morning, that connection he brought to me that made me feel so normal, made me feel important. What would happen if you took the time to bring that same sense of connection to the people that you work with? What would happen if you brought it back to your family or even to your friends? Now, I'm not talking about washing their hair. That would be creepy. One of the lies that I see going throughout natural resources that we tend to tell ourselves is this: I'm not important enough to make a difference. And hey, if you've ever struggled with that self-confidence for even a second of, am I good enough? Listen up. Your ability to make someone's day better has absolutely nothing to do with the title that you have. I think one of a leader's primary strengths is influencing other people. That morning at 3:30, do you think Jason influenced me? Could you do this to someone who's new in your area? Could you make them feel welcome? Could you be the one that brings a positive perspective to the next meeting? Could you be the one that gives someone a compliment? Hey, Reiner, nice job on putting this together. You did a great job. I really love the room. Would that make you influential? I think so. And that's something that you don't need a promotion for. You don't need a fancy title. You don't need a different job. That's how you can increase the leadership ability within your current role. So why is it that all these years later, I've forgotten the names of the paramedics who put me back together, and the surgeons and the life flight? I've forgotten all their names. But 6 years later, almost 7 now, I still remember that night nurse, Jason. I think I remember him because of compassion. If you're taking notes, write this down. The difference was indifference. The difference was indifference. And by title alone, was he the most important person in that hospital? Psh, heck no. There were hundreds of specialists. I mean, doctors saving lives, surgeons doing amazing things with people, putting them back together. But I still remember that night nurse, because when he saw a chance to help somebody, when he saw a chance to lift them up, he acted. And that made him the most important person to our family. Can you be like Jason? Can you make somebody else feel important? You know, it is really easy to talk the talk about, hey, let's be nice to each other. Teamwork, that sounds great. How about synergy? That word's really trendy too. Easy to talk the talk, but do you walk the walk? From the moment you step foot into your office tomorrow, you can walk the walk. You could give someone a specific compliment on something they did well. You could find out what's important to them. Find out what they're working on. Even offer to help. Find out what they're interested in. Who knows? It might be yo-yo. Make the effort to get to know them, and that's how you become a difference maker like Jason. You see, it wasn't just a spinal cord injury that changed my life, like the x-ray you saw earlier. It was a night nurse who went through the effort to make me feel like I mattered. How do you want people to talk about you? Would you like to be important? Then go out of your way to make the people you meet today feel like they matter. And be important here.